Welcome back to the Left Coast Crime live recordings made at the Outliers Writing University studios here at the beautiful Westin Hotel in the mile-high city of Denver, Colorado. Me being from Florida, I am definitely feeling like I need some chapstick because my lips are so dry. But it is great to be here at this family reunion with so many of my good friends, including our special guest, Ana Manwaring. In the world of high-stakes crime and relentless suspense, Ana delivers another gripping thriller with Kickback. A master storyteller, Ana brings her firsthand knowledge of Mexico's underbelly to life, drawing from real-life experiences that range from working for a private investigator to outrunning armed maniacs on remote highways. Ana, welcome aboard. How do you research outrunning armed maniacs?
You want to hear the story?
Yeah.
Okay. So in 1991, I got rid of my accounting office, put my dog in a VW bus, a 1969 VW camper that I bought, and I drove to Mexico. And I was in a really remote area going down the Pacific coast, and you could smell the ripening marijuana coming in on the breeze, and there was no traffic.
Pretty distinctive. It's like being on 16th Street in Denver.
Yeah, exactly. No, they have a bus now that's free. Okay. So it was just getting dark, and I came down a hill, and I was on a causeway with banana groves on either side, and a pickup truck with blinking lights in the grill raced up behind me, pulled up next to me, and a couple of men, the driver and the passenger, kind of looking in at me. And I immediately started talking to my dog, who was in the back seat with the curtains closed. And they pulled forward. It took them about a year to pull forward.
Aye.
And there was a man with a big, long gun pointed at me. I lived to tell the tale. I used that as the opening of my first book.
Well, what happened? Why was that happening?
Because I was in a growing region with California plates, and I found out later when I got to Mexico City, I have a cousin there, one of her friends had just recently gotten the news that her son had been murdered in this same region. Probably he and his buddy got out and were ripping off the fields. I didn't get out. I just kept driving, and I'm gripping the wheel and my knees are clattering, and I'm just telling my dog, it's not our day to die. And they zoomed off, and I putted along because VW buses don't go that fast. And I was really overloaded, so I could stay for a long time. And eventually I passed where they were, and they made a big display of pulling out and going back the other way, brandishing their arms. And I went on, and I didn't make it to Zihuatanejo that night. I went to the first hotel I could find.
See, this is why I think you're such a great writer, because you're such a wonderful storyteller.
Thank you.
I mean, that made me want to know what was in the next chapter. Had you always been a storyteller?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't always a writer. I didn't always write down, but when I did write, I was encouraged, except by my mother, who said, if you're going to be a writer, you're going to have to learn how to spell. I said,
little did you know.
I'm not. And sure enough, spell check. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Mom.
And then came autocomplete, which is like, your children having children that get back at them for all the things they did to you. That's been autocompleted. I'm fascinated by your protagonist, by Dafne. How did you learn hostage negotiation, that stuff?
I did not learn hostage negotiation. When you read the book, you notice that she never does the negotiation.
It's true. Yeah.
Basically, she in college fell into it. Dafne is the daughter of a very wealthy Mexican family and a British man who is a backstory. We don't meet him in this book, but we may meet him sometime. He makes movies and he married an actress and they have a house full of kids. And Dafne grew up without a father, with this always working mother in the company, in the family company. And she felt lonely. So she's got these two sides and she would go as often as possible. Went to school in, I forget now, God, I forget my own book. It was in Britain. And she fell into something. Some co-ed got snagged and she negotiated. And so people started coming, they got around. And so she got this sideline. But really, she's the chief operating officer for her family real estate and real estate development company that opened in the 1800s in Mexico City.
What about her is autobiographical, if any?
Absolutely nothing.
How are you different?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, first of all, I don't have any Mexican parents or British parents. Luckily, I have a critique group of 3 British ladies who keep me in line on the British side. She's really adventurous. She's turning 39. She's been married for a long time, but she keeps putting off starting a family. I never had any of my own kids. She doesn't really want to because she wants to work and she wants to do things that staying home taking care of kids would kind of get in the way. And that's kind of how I felt. Not entirely, but enough. I wanted to travel. I wanted excitement. And I did.
Your books read like movies. Let's talk about process.
All right.
From beginning to end, how do you create your stories?
I began setup, the very first book, as a pantser. I pantsed my way through. It took me 28 years. As I say, I rewrote it every year for many years. The second book, I pantsed. The third book, I pantsed with little chapter outlines. So I'd get somewhere. I knew I was at the end of the chapter. And I'd write a little paragraph of what might be able to happen. I also got into using a flipboard. I'm a creative writing teacher, and you take your board to class and you write things down. So I got into going, what if, and listing everything I could possibly think of that could happen in a book. This was my outlining. And then I'd pull things. If it sort of made my blood rush, I go, oh, yeah, that's in the book. And then I'd kind of throw it in a chapter. But as I'd write, I'm still pantsing. So things might move around. And I did that for the next 2 books. I am now an outliner because I pants also when within the outline, but I do an outline. I use Plotter. So I have lists of names and, you need your Bible if you're doing a series. And as I got along in the JadeAnne series, I would forget who characters were and I was having trouble. So I have all these notebooks that I collected things. And now I do it right there on the screen. Every time there's a character who pops up, because I hadn't outlined that character yet, I do a little something. So I'm really moving into the outline. And whatever my book is, Kickback, that new book, that was the first time I actually, I write during NaNoWriMo, by the way. Mm-hmm. I started in September and I worked daily on my outline. And I feel that the book is so far the best. It's not my favorite, though. It's not my not favorite either. But my second book, The Hydra Effect, is my favorite.
We're talking with Ana Manwaring, got it right this time, about her writing process and her books. What do your 5-star readers say they like best about your writing?
Actually, I try not to read my reviews because I don't want to read the bad reviews. I haven't had any bad reviews except one. And the person said, oh my God, that person's never been to Zihuatanejo. It was on the first book. And, I spent over a month there. And yeah, ask me again. I just sidetracked.
You're talking about the one-star rating you got. I was asking what 5-star people like about your stories.
I think people like the adventure. I mean, a lot of adventure in this one too. I don't call it an adventure. I call it a mystery, but there's a lot of action. I think people really like my action scenes. I do good action. I do a good shootout or car wreck or blowing up a pier, or there are lots of things. And I might do it during an eclipse of the moon. I research these. If I have an eclipse, there was an eclipse on that day.
What do you like most about being a creative writing teacher?
Oh, my students. Oh, it's a wonderful job. And it was, I'd never thought I was going to do that. But like many things, you're in the right place at the right time. I worked for Napa Valley College teaching ESL in the adult education. And one day I was standing around at administration chatting with somebody, and she said, oh, you write stories. Listen, the creative writing teacher for the adult education again died, and we need to have the class filled. And I said,
it's not exactly a ringing endorsement, is it?
And I said, oh, sure, I'll take it. When is it? And it was the best thing. I mean, that was where I belonged. At first, I didn't know what to do, and I tried to be. I have 2 degrees in education, okay? So being a teacher isn't the problem. It was the subject. And so I approached it the way you would, the old didactic, stand at the board and try to hand information or knowledge to people, which is not how it works in creative writing. And they all went, no. We want to read our stuff and we want you to edit it in class. Well, I'm really good at that now. I've been doing it for about 20 years.
So do you have students who have come back later and told you that they became writers because of your influence?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get notes from people. I bump into people and they say, and, many people I know, they have books out. And it's just really rewarding. And people come and get into my groups and stay for a really long time. I have only one class. I retired from the college. I do one class through a senior center because I like working with the retired community. When I started, of course, I wasn't. I was not I like to say I was not a senior citizen. I like to say I'm not now, too. But
it's all our work is well seasoned, Dad. Yeah, we're not all for well seasoned. What's different about teaching seniors?
They want to be there. They want to learn, and they want it on their own terms, and they will tell you what those are.
Ana Manwaring is our guest. She got the website, Ana, MANWARING.com, and the new book is Kickback, available wherever. Cool.
Wherever. Many places. $2.99 on Amazon and pretty much every other platform at the moment for Left Coast.
This is what I like best about a great author is not only do they know how to write, but they know how to sell it.
That's my goal this year, is to learn how to sell it. I can talk about your book if I know. I can sell your book, but selling my own book has been really difficult.
Why?
I don't know. I like to talk, but I'm not, and I like to talk about myself, but I don't like to say buy my book.
Well, you don't have to say buy it. You could just say available wherever cool books are sold. You're fine. You got to get over that because
I'm working on it.
That's the unworthiness cheat sneaking in again.
This is what keeps you young, learning new things.
Exactly. That's where I thought you were going to go with this, with the seniors, because I think part of what keeps us all sharp is the fact that we constantly have to be creative and think of new stuff every day.
Yeah.
And we're in circulation with these other amazing people who keep us.
Well, absolutely. Well, you do know that I'm the vice president of Sisters in Crime. It's my second year. they asked me to take it, but we got Glenda, thank God.
And what's that experience been like?
Oh, I love it. I've been on the board for over 15 years. No, my thing really is to try to give to others, to give what I know or I don't know, but we can learn it together to others and help people come up. I'm not much help to Terry. She's way ahead of me, and she's been a great help to me. And I'm saying Terry, but I'm talking about Terry Shames, but Terry Shepard as well.
I'm just honored to be a brother in crime.
Exactly. We're siblings.
We are. We're all.
My superpower really is kind of putting people together. I meet people, I go, oh, you're like this and you're the same. Come here, meet each other. And in the teaching and everything. And I seem to be pretty good at it and I really enjoy it. And that feeds me.
And well-deserved. Ana Manwaring, thank you for joining us at the Outliers Writing University studios at Left Coast Crime.
Thank you very much.